Hey everyone, we'll be starting in a moment. I am just getting everything set up, so please bear with me. Okay, close. It is there. Connection seems good. Voice is being picked up. We're good to go. So, hi everyone. Welcome to another stream of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, part of the collection. Today we are continuing where we had left off last time, where we had found out that Bound was the one that had stolen the ice sculptures that no one thought was stolen because everyone thought it was melted, because she had used the remnants of the other stuff that was in the room when they melted to make it seem as though that they had melted. Yes. But she had kept them in cold storage all this time before she was kicked out and had to spend the next 18 years earning enough money by acting and doing other various jobs to get the place back so then she could get the sculptures and then start doing a exhibition so then she could put the old ice sculptures back up to find the real killer by making it so then the body that was hidden in one of them would be found out and then the guy would try to take it back, which then in turn would activate the poison gas trap, which she didn't know about, I guess, and then she got past. Then he passed out, and it turns out it was the samurai guy. Yeah, that was a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's what we learned last time. Today we are going to be questioning the suspect, that of the original killings, and we're going to see what happens there. That pretty much covers everything. Hey Rafatron, hey Matt the Shirt, welcome. Probably finished today, maybe. But yeah, we're going to see what we learn, if we can find out the real killer, expose his crimes for what they are, and move on. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. I've played 50 hours of this game, really? Wow. Then again, it's also counting the first game as well, so... Oh. Alright. Let me refresh things. So I've been noticing I'm having some weird issues with my computer lately. It's only happened twice so far, but I'm hoping it doesn't happen again, but it might. Where it's like I just have like these massive slowdowns for some reason. I can still use my my mouse and keyboard perfectly fine, but clicking on anything or doing anything on the actual computer itself takes forever. Like trying to put my mouse onto the X takes like 10 seconds for the X to get highlighted. And it will take a while to switch windows. Restarting my computer seems to fix it. It's just weird. I don't know why it's doing it, and I'm hoping it's not that my hard drive is failing. Even though that's the storage drive, everything's on the hard drive. So, yeah, everything seems good. Right, we're good to go. Let's do this. Haven't slept in 20 hours. Can we go to 40? Yes, but I wouldn't recommend it because I've done that. And I was tired. Sad music. Ugh. Let me just sort this thing out. Okay. April 2nd, 3:11 p.m. Zodiac Hall Fountain Room. Miss Bound, are you feeling a little calmer now? Yeah. She's just like nonchalant about it. Good. Then allow me to get to the point. Regardless of your intentions, you broke the law. Yes, I understand. And nevertheless, I understand that you did what you did in order to prove Mr. Tangero's innocence. Therefore, if the real culprit really is someone else, then we have a duty to reinvestigate the case.
Overruled.
There is nothing to suggest that anything nefarious took place in the official IS-7 incident records. And right now, there's nothing to suggest that we should take Miss Bound at her word either. Okay, what about the evidence? The guy tried to open up something that was quite clearly all of that. Did it for SBR? SBR? Social bracket racing? I don't know. So our first order of business should be to arrest the culprit of the case before us, Miss Bound herself. And I didn't suggest we wouldn't. I suggested we also should check into what happened before.
Objection!
Official records cannot always be trusted, Judge Cavell. Especially since there are those prosecutors who would think nothing of twisting the facts.
Overruled.
Are you suggesting that the committee at the time overlooked such a prosecutor? Yes! Were you not around when everything was revealed when Karma was doing all this stuff? That's for you and your people to figure out. However, it is fact that the autopsy report was faked, seeing as Mr. Frost's body was only found just now. There really is something of Mr. Von Karma in you, Mr. Edgeworth. How so, exactly? By continually defying the will of the committee and bending the truth to fit your needs. That's how. I am telling the truth as it is. Perhaps it is time you understand how I know the committee sees this case. I don't really care about the committee's view right now. They're not even here. The committee is willing to accept that Mr. Von Karma falsified Mr. Frost's autopsy report. But even still, Mr. Von Karma only managed to have Mr. Tangaroa convicted as an accomplice. I personally have come to believe that the real culprit behind the AS-7 incident is Miss Bound. Her plan to poison and kill Mr. Gusto today was an attempt to frame him for the Mr. Frost murder. Ah yes, when he tried to break into the specialized case to get access to the body, it was an attempt to poison and kill him. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And this is how the committee sees things, is it? It is. As always, I act solely in service of law and order. No, you act in terms of blind faith and just wanting it to be true. It sounds to me like all she's doing is acting in service of the committee and covering up the truth. And if I can't change her mind, there'll be no saving Mr. Tangaroa or Miss Bound. Speaking of not sleeping, just grab my ticket for Ready or Not too. Okay. I think that's a horror film. If you accept that Mr. Von Karma falsified the report, then why would you reinvestigate the case? Because the Goddess of Justice is never wrong. I hate you. I really... Her verdict remains true despite Mr. Von Karma... Despite blatant evidence tampering. You sure your precious goddess is into that? Almost makes you think the committee might have other reasons for not wanting this looked into again. Further investigation is simply unnecessary since the Goddess of Justice have already spoken. Shut up! Is that right?
Hold it!
I believe it was the confession that sealed Mr. Tangaroa's fate in the end. A confession secured by Mr. Von Karma, which should surely cast doubt on the final verdict itself. Plus, even the judge at the time had said that it was not a good sign.
Overruled.
Samson Tangaroa confessed to the initial investigation officer, one Detective Ian Seidman. The official records state that it was his interrogations that led to the conviction. Therefore, all I can say to you is the Goddess of Justice had already spoken. Unbelievable, she won't just budge at all. About a stupid god that apparently dictates everything, even though they don't exist. It's too early to do other things, or just, you know, she's stupid. Are these community guys really that big of a deal? No. In many ways, they are prosecutors' worst nightmare. Huh. It's kind of like how the police are to the Great Thief, huh? Funny how you don't seem to have a problem working with the police when it suits you, though.
Hold it!
Are you suggesting that Mr. Tangaroa and Miss Bound kill Mr. Frost together? Why not? You could even imagine they split their roles as thus. Mr. Tangaroa could have been the one to commit the act itself, while Miss Bound was to remove the body. Where are you getting this? Where is the evidence saying this? Nowhere! What? The thought that we could ever... You stole his corpse and hid it for 18 years. Is it really so surprising? Miss Bound has freely confessed to all of her crimes. Now is not the time to speculate about what else she might have done in the past. Very well. Now let us pass judgment on what we know she did in the present.
Hold it!
Why would Miss Bound have chosen to frame Mr. Gusto for the murder? No doubt because he suspected her of being the real culprit. He may have hinted at what he thought was the Winter Wing, simply to see if the Gemini statue was genuine. Little did he know that he would be greeted by a trap designed to silence him, a trap that nearly worked.
Objection!
Do you have any evidence to support that line of reasoning? Unfortunately, Mr. Gusto remains in critical condition. It'll be difficult to prove anything until he regains consciousness. In other words, there is little we can do for now. On the contrary, there is plenty we can do. You still have not grasped the situation, have you? Then allow me to spell it out for you. We have all the evidence we need to explain both the IS-7 incident and the poison gas attacks. I gained another 2 points conversation for this. All the evidence you need. In the matter of the IS-7 incidents, we have a body, a murder weapon, and 2 suspects. As for the poison gas attack, we have the sources of the 2 chemicals and Miss Bound's confession. And as for you, Mr. Edgeworth, we have also enough evidence to see that you yourself will have to answer the committee in a formal hearing. Whoa. That doesn't sound good. And why? We haven't really gotten in the way of anything. If anything, we found out the truth. Don't worry, Milzerino. If nothing else, you're always more than welcome at Edgeworth & Co. Your Honor, I greatly appreciate if we could stay focused on the matter at hand. Of course. Now, where was I? Pretty sure we don't have all the evidence. Wasn't there a thing that specifically said that we're missing stuff? Wait. 24th, 18 years ago. Rockstone Lamp, Manfred from Comer, Gregory Edgeworth. Outside one of the creations, one of the detention, Tangaroa discovered that he had a taste disorder. Also known as Paul Halik, blah blah blah. No detailed auto report was missing due to the body going missing.
Hold it!
Let's just put, pressing the last one. We really mean to assert that there are no loose ends left to investigate. None at all. All of the evidence has been examined at length, and there is nothing more to be learned from them. Therefore, I see no need to further prolong this trial. The court finds... Your Honor, I'm certain there's something that still needs to be examined. The hammer is about to fall, Mr. Edgeworth. Only hard evidence can stop it now. Present what you think requires further deliberation now, assuming that there really is nothing left, that is. This isn't over yet, not by a long shot. There's still one thing we don't have an answer to, and it's up to me to point it out to Judge Gavel. Which is what? We have all the evidence we need. Right, so... this doesn't really tell us anything. This just shows us the cloth, nothing really standing out on it. Shows the pink substance in the eyes. Photograph of the murder weapon from the IS-7 incident. This just shows the thing on the bottom we've already looked at. Oh, did I ever look at this? To think this was disguised as a serving cart and used to transport the body. Don't forget the body was inside a hollow ice block. At least now we know why the platform was wet. This looks like the pedal that you adjust the height of the platform, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. Let's give it a try. If you would, Kay. On it. Ta-da! A single person could transport quite a heavy load using one of these. I'll say, you better could even turn cart gummy off with it. And for what purpose exactly, may I ask? Didn't really show us anything, but I like that they actually animated it and showed how it works. Because this is like the hydraulic for it, and then it makes it go up. The different parts. Nothing really here stands out as something I need to see. This just shows pictures. Sugar detected in fountain water also seems to be a match. Maybe this? Maybe the blowtorch? Because it doesn't really explain why he had this to begin with, because he would have to go out and get it, but he had this on his person.
Objection!
Nope. Am I expected to blah blah blah? I don't know what I'm presenting.
Objection!
Nope.
Objection!
No, not that either. Oh, whoops. I'm not really sure. Maybe present the case notes?
Objection!
Nope. I swear, if I'm like presenting things on the wrong thing, that'd suck.
Objection!
Nope. Because apparently we have something that hasn't been looked into enough yet, but I'm trying to figure out what that is. A cookbook, maybe? But...
Objection!
Nope. It is the right statement? Okay. So far we have shared this, the case file, the blowtorch, the Pisces sketch, the poison gas ingredients, the ultimate cookbook, the salt lamp, and that's about it. So what else could we present on this? We have all the evidence we need to explain both the IS-7 incident and the poison gas attack. Would these count? Because we never found out what these were from.
Objection!
No. Don't you have one chemical source? Yeah, but it's like I presented this and it didn't really tell us anything. It was just like, no, that's not it.
Objection!
No, not that.
Objection!
Nope. We only have one guess left before we're dead. So to go through what we've already presented, we presented the case files, the wing photo, the blowtorch, the Pisces sketch, the poison gas ingredients, the ultimate cookbook, the frame fingerprints, the salt lamp, the teapot, the case file analysis, or case analysis results. I'm not really sure what else I could present then. Maybe the luminous cloth? Maybe? Because the chocolates don't really tell us anything, they're just chocolates. The pictures don't tell us anything because we've already talked about that. We don't really know anything about the lift car other than it's wet. This picture doesn't tell us anything, just that they knew each other. I did, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did present these.
Objection!
Really? I thought I did present them. I'm afraid there is still one question concerning the IS-7 incident that remains unanswered, Your Honor. Would you mind taking a look at this? I guess it was this one thing that I thought I had already presented. Well, what is it? There, test results carried out on the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case in the winter wing. What I probably did do is that I read it, but then just didn't present it, because I either just forgot to, or I thought it wasn't important. As you can see, traces of blood were detected. And the question is, whose? Until that question is answered, I hardly think you can claim to have all the evidence. There was blood in the Gemini case? Why did I not hear about this from Eustace? Because he sucks at his job. Because Detective Gumshoe informed me of the results directly, and now he'll be fired because I just decided to blatantly say that. I was planning to tell Mr. Winner about it myself, of course.
Overruled.
You kept this to yourself until now, despite having no jurisdiction here whatsoever. You did the same. So, quid pro quo. Mark my words, the committee will hear about all what you've done here today. As ever, my interest is in the truth, and if mistakes were made in the past, they must be rectified. Yeah, you read it and then moved on to other evidence. Ah, okay. Whoopsie. If you must report me to the committee, then so be it. But in return, we must be allowed to investigate this case to the very end. That is not my decision to make. You will need to discuss it with Eustace. Guess who's back, losers? We got good news, too. It was a close call for a minute there, but Carmelo Gusto is alive. Oh, excuse me. Gusto. He made it. Oh, you're the ones who found me. I can't remember the voice I gave him, but he should be older now. Yeah, long time no see, Gusto. You're the attorney's assistant. You've grown, and you have an assistant of your own now. Assistant? No, I'm... He hasn't got the gig just yet. This is Gregory Edgeworth's son. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. Fate moves in mysterious ways. I'm in your debt. If you haven't found me in time, I would be here, thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. After all, if you hadn't lived, we would be able to ask you what really happened 18 years ago. Huh? What are you talking about? We figured out... Oh, wrong voice. We figured out quite a bit while you're out. Including the fact that you're probably the guy who offed poor Art Frost. What? Is this true? Miss Bound set up a very elaborate trap to catch Mr. Frost's murderer. A trap that involved rigging the Pisces case with the poison gas. Perhaps in light of that fact, you could tell us in your own words what happened back then. Or perhaps you'd rather exercise your right to remain silent. It's not that. Gus is here a fan of the old meditation, you know. And all that jazz. Wow, sleeping while standing seems pretty cool. That's one heck of talent. Okay, that's very helpful, Kai. Except there's no sleeping involved in meditation, Kay. Hey, Gusto, old pal. How about you step out of it and tell us what you went down way back when? I don't know why he's making this noise for. Is I supposed to be laughing? It sounds like he's having a stroke. I was caught in the girl's trap, so I must be the killer. Is this your idea of a joke? In the victim here. Indeed you are, Mr. Gusto, and there's no evidence that you have done anything wrong yet. Mr. Edgeworth and Mr. Fender are merely speculating. Rest assured that they have no authority here and that you may pay them no heed. At least somebody here seems to be on my side. Judge Verity Cavell, it's a pleasure, Mr. Gusto. I will assist you in any way you may require. Perhaps you could begin by explaining what actually happened 18 years ago to Mr. Edgeworth. Fine. You want me to prove I'm innocent, Mr. Prosecutor? I'll be happy to.
Objection!
So this is how you mean to play it, Judge Cavell? You hope Mr. Gusto will help you to hide what happened instead of trying to correct the record? I believe only in the infallible judgment of the Goddess of Justice. Well, your goddess sucks and you suck. I really dislike this character. Like, I'm interested, like, she's got great design and stuff most of the time. I hate her hair. But I don't like her as a character. Like, she's really annoying. Except it is us humans who make the actual judgment calls in the court of law. And as long as there are those who would use the law to their advantage, our rulings are fallible indeed. If you would use your position to further obscure the truth, then neither she nor I will forgive you. We shall see about that. What do you advise, Judge Cavell? It would seem that you are under suspicion because it was you who triggered the poison gas, specifically by opening the Pisces case lid. Would you be so kind as to share with us why? Understood. I came to see Frost sculptures, simple as that. I made a mistake with the opening times and arrived half an hour early. Miss Bound, was there no one at the reception desk at around that time? I had left the main entrance unguarded and unlocked, just in case the killer made an appearance. I was also busy making preparations elsewhere as the way up until the gallery's opening. As awful as she is, without spoiling anything, her character arc is worth seeing through. I'm going to believe you on that, because right now, out of all the characters in the entire franchise, I hate her the most. So, I'm gonna hope that it turns out better. So no, there is no one here on the first floor then. But I did make sure that all the wings were locked up tight, all except the autumn wing, that is. I see. She did all that just to steer the culprit into the autumn wing. Which is precisely where Mr. Gusto went. Sneaking into a building's pretty suspicious, however you slice it, says the thief. Silence in the courtroom. I will permit no objections or interventions unless there is some evidence that the witness is lying. The courtroom? No, this is an art gallery, right? Mr. Gusto, if you could please continue by explaining why you opened the Pisces case. I wanted to see where Frost's work close up. So I went to the Gemini, sorry, I guess it was supposed to be the Pisces statue. And I saw that the lid was frozen on tight. I grabbed the blowtorch from nearby and tried to open it. When I finally got it open, gas came pouring out. Fascinating. His is the sort of flawless testimony attorneys can only dream of. Yeah, everything sounds like a lie kind. I am not too satisfied with Mr. Gusto's explanation myself. Alas, there is no evidence to refute it. Come on! Must be something. It's Bound's story you should be questioning, not mine. I'm not the one who set up the gas trap. She could have killed anybody with that thing.
Objection!
She turned on the sprinklers as soon as the gas was released. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was gunning for the killer, nobody else. See, the thing is, Mo is designed to be annoying. So that's just him as the character. I disliked him for that, but I didn't hate him as a character. This character I hate because of her philosophy. And just, you know, there's people that are actually like this that are just... shouldn't exist. So, yeah. She was gunning for the killer, nobody else. That killer being you, old pal. Do you believe that self-confessed criminal? Miss Bound is far from blameless in this affair, and she will have to pay for her crimes. But so will Mr. Frost's killer. You seem determined to pin... You seem determined to pin Frost's murder on me. But I had no reason to kill him. I thought he was going to put that in his eye, then. And you have no evidence to prove otherwise. Could really not prove that he's the killer, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Gusto fell victim to the poison gas. That much is indisputable. Yet no matter how suspicious his actions in the present may seem, they prove nothing about the past. Yeah, but... Then what about you, Mr. Fender? There must be something we can do. You're right. We might not have any evidence. We have plenty of intel. Let's see now. If Gusto killed Frost, he must have had a reason. He claims not to have a motive, but that really can't be true, can it? If he did it, he has one. Not many people commit murder just for fun. In fact, your old man had a little back and forth with him on camera about provable motive too, remember? How can you possibly say that with certainty if their relationship had broken down for some reason? That could very well have been the motive behind his murder. Von Karma wouldn't let us talk to Gusto back then, but now we can. If we can put the pieces together, I think the picture we've been looking for might burst emerge. Yes, I think you might be right. I need to think back over everything we know about the IS-7 incident, especially the questions that never got answered. And the finger marks, were you the one wearing the gloves? Miss Gunn denied that the finger marks in the frame were hers. But what if they were Mr. Gusto's? Perhaps he wanted to take a look through the ultimate cookbook for himself. Also, he asked me if I could put it in a new cartridge. I seem to think that there would have been more shots less than they were. In other words, the film ran out sooner than expected. Oh, yes. The number of shots he didn't take line up with the shots of remaining. But he thought maybe he just lost track somewhere along the way. My father noticed these things for reasons. I just need to piece them together correctly. In the absence of evidence is the only way for the truth to emerge. Photographing the cookbook contents would be the perfect way to steal its secrets undetected. And what if Mr. Gusto did just that? What if he used Mr. Tangaroa's camera to photograph the book? It'd be the perfect crime. So much better than stealing it and getting chased by the cops. A sneaky snapshot on 20, huh? That could work. The only question is, when would he have done it? Good question. What about during afternoon tea? Didn't Alicia say that Gusto and Frost had missed out on the little tea party they had? Which brings me to the next question. When do we know for certain that Mr. Frost was still alive? After the began, no one is so high on hair of Frost as he had secluded himself in the room. And the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing as he did the only key. Miss Scott, where's Mr. Tangaroa works, the only one that's counts? No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over the Chillywinks room for a little taste, too. Mr. Frost had kept himself inside his room after the contest had started, but he was gone by the time Miss Scone snuck in to sample his works, meaning there's a good chance he was murdered before the end of afternoon tea. Mr. Gusto, you and Mr. Frost conspired to create works for the contest together, did you not? Do you know my little secret? Mr. Fender was kind enough to inform me. Mr. Frost was in charge of the designs while you were in charge of the flavor. Is that correct? What can I say? My throat is starting to get dry. I still had a long way to travel on the road to becoming a master confectioner. But you only collaborated up through a semi-final. Something changed after that. We both wanted to show to what we could. I'll show that we were better than Tangaroa.
Objection!
Then why did you help Mr. Frost with his entry for the final? What grounds do you have to say that? Your own statement, made to Mr. Von Kammer 18 years ago. You told him you had been working together right up until the day before the final. Mr. Frost's entry was carved entirely from blocks of flavored ice. Ice which you needed at least a day to freeze, and whose flavor therefore would have already been prepared by Mr. Gusto. Yeah, which lines up perfectly with what Mr. Gusto told me, that he helped Mr. Frost until the day before the murder, or the final. In that case, why did you help Mr. Frost represent and Mr. Gusto in return? I could hardly be expected to read the minds of the dead. So why didn't Mr. Frost help you in return, I submit that your relationship broke down for some reason, and that became the basis for the motive of murder. Not the balloon. That's not how it was. Sure, we stopped working together, but it was all perfectly friendly. You stopped working together in a friendly way? Kinda hard to imagine, but okay. Besides, how do you think I did it exactly? You think I just strolled into Tangaroa's room and killed Frost? I couldn't have killed the man while Tangaroa was in the room working on his chocolate pieces, could I? You fool, you've slipped up! So, you see, it can't have been me. I wouldn't be so sure. There must be a window of time when Mr. Tangaroa wasn't in his room. And if I can prove that, I can prove that Mr. Gusto had the opportunity to kill Mr. Frost. Literally the only two things. Like, this would be more interesting if there was more options. There's only two. I held up 3 fingers there. I meant to hold 2, but I missed my finger holding. We can be sure that Mr. Frost was alive until the beginning of afternoon tea, making tea time the only window during which Mr. Gusto could have killed him. Calling it tea time just feels like it's child's tea time. I'm just imagining, like, these grown adults, like, playing with toys. Be like, would you like some more tea, Mr. Buttersworth? Oh, yes, please. Are you satisfied with Mr. Gusto's story now, Mr. Edgeworth? Sadly, I'm afraid I'm still rather unsatisfied. But things are finally starting to become clear, and the truth will soon come to light at last. Did you mean to say that you have uncovered a new evidence? Evidence? No. I was hoping I might convince Mr. Gusto to open up about us instead. Oh, is it mind games time again? It is. Mr. Gusto, I have a question for you. I said I have a question for you. What is it? You chose to make your entry for the final on your own. I told you. I wanted to test myself. I wanted to prove I was the best in the world.
Objection!
If that were the case, then surely you wouldn't have chosen to cheat in the first place. So tell me, Mr. Gusto, why did you feel the need to team up with Mr. Frost? Chess time? Yay! 18 years ago, Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost collaborated in the confectionery contest. But why did they work together, and why did they enter the contest in the first place? That's the information I need to get out of my opponent somehow. He has 4 pieces? Mr. Gusto seems to have a habit of pretending to be asleep when things aren't going his way. Let's start by focusing on why he chose to work with Mr. Frost. By my hand, now is the time to dig up the truth that was buried all those years ago. I'm gonna dig into your brain. Chess time. Mr. Gusto, what inspired you to collaborate with Mr. Frost? We were acquainted before we were contestants. He was interested in entering the contest, so we decided to sign up together. Huh, and your decision to pair with the sculptor had nothing to do with your lack of faith in your skills. You don't know me. We joined forces because he wanted to make the most perfect creations possible, that's all. I will expose all your lies in the end, Mr. Gusto. It's only a matter of time. That is not what that prompt said. Sorry. Wanted to see if I could do an impression of you. Turns out it's easy. He's happy to bide his time as well, it seems. I need to pick my words more wisely. Oh! Skippy-dibby-doo! Frost's son was mine. Our first son and mine were in the same grade at school, so we got along pretty well too. Oh, so you were just two friends who happened to try for the title of the world's greatest confectioner? I'm still recovering, so if you've got nothing to say, let me get back to the medical room. Wait, I may need to be a little more proactive. Okay, so when he's silent, I press. Pretending to be asleep when the going gets tough won't work on me, I'm afraid. Mr. Frost was a sculptor, Mr. Gusto. I doubt he cared much about winning a title for confectioners. In which case he probably had a different motive for taking part in the contest, wouldn't you say? Fine. It was me, I wanted that title. Frost was only in it for the prize, the ultimate cookbook. I see. And since your objectives dovetailed so neatly, you decided to work together. But then something happened. A breakdown in your relationship, perhaps. If so, I want to know why. Mr. Prosecutor, I'm still quite unwell with my brush with death. Please push me too hard. And I'll be on my way back to the medical room. No, wait. Then you better wrap this up quickly. I'm already dangerously low on patience. Mr. Gusto is trying desperately to make his escape, but he was not going anywhere. Yet. Not as long as he's still keeping things from me, so let's figure out what he's really after. Woo! There's no time to lose. I need to pick the right line of questioning, and fast. You two had eyes on something other than the title, didn't you? After all, I'm not sure the title of World's Greatest Confectioner even counts for that much. Huh? Now you're sorting the way of the confectioner? My only goal was to win that title. I didn't care about anything else. You have no idea how much it would have meant to me. Look, my sister and I may have not been up to the snuff back then, but you should see me now. Oh, so you've improved. You bet I have. I didn't do all that training in Zenfar for nothing. I will expose all your lies in the end, Mr. Gusto. It's only a matter of time. Skip. I wanted to see if you would actually do it. I looked up to Tanjiro, you know. Spent hours poring over the designs of his work. Even used his show with my son, or watched his show. Sounds like to me Mr. Tanjiro's work were especially influential in your early studies. And with his recipe book, you might have helped him become the best someday. Maybe. The book was a real treasure, no doubt about that. Any confectioner would have wanted it. Huh. So you claim that your only goal was to win the title. Yet you also seem to have been interested in the contest prize, the ultimate cookbook. The greatest collection of recipes by the world's greatest confectioner. I can't say I have absolutely no interest in it. I feel like I've been Wally Wonka all of a sudden. He's like one of the kids that does the wrong thing, gets turned into like a chocolate bar or something. And even if I did, What exactly is so wrong with that? Nothing, I suppose. Only that the book contained recipes for medicines, not desserts, for some reason. And everyone who entered the contest supposedly knew that. I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere. I can't let him slip by from my grasp now. I just need to stay calm and keep the pressure on. Woo! Next, let's find out why he wanted the cookbook. Did you know how valuable the cookbook really was? What kind of question is that? It was a collection of Tangaroa's recipes. There wasn't a confectioner in the world who would have wanted to get their hands on it. I don't have a clue as to how you proceed with this line of questioning. I better try another tack. So your plan was to win the cookbook and use it to help you with your own creations? What else? A book like that could have improved my craft tenfold. You could have made a lot of money if you'd sold it. I don't know how much of that was actually in there, but it was worth more than money, I tell you that. Come now, Mr. Gusto. I think you know more about the ultimate cookbook than you claim. They told us a little bit about it at the start of the contest. Huh. Then you know what kind of recipes it actually contained, don't you? And that they weren't dessert recipes at all. I see you did your homework. Fine, you know what really was in there. The Ultimate Cookbook, or the Angel's Cookbook to give it its proper title. It's a collection of the chemical formulas and ways to synthesize new medicines nobody has ever heard of. So, he did know that the Angel Cookbook actually contained recipes for medicines. This could be an important clue. Did you know how valuable the cookbook was? What kind of question is that? There was a confectioner. Time to deploy my clue. Your designs may have improved thanks to your training in Zangfa, but you clearly didn't do enough work on your skills of deception. You've already admitted that you knew the Ultimate Cookbook was a collection of recipes for medicines. Thereby making your interest into gastroeconomical, but pharmaceutical in nature. I like to throw around big words. You're trying to become a pharmacist? What a choice. You're a confectioner, Mr. Gusto. You had no professional interest in revolutionary new medicines, which suggests that your intentions must have been personal. Hurrah! I underestimated you. Fine. You're right. I didn't mean to skip that. Winning the title wasn't the only reason I entered the contest. I needed one of the recipes in that book. It was for my son. He was sick. He was? Tell me more. That's none of your business. I told you as much as you need to know. He looks rattled, but I can't let him off the hook. Let's find out what this mystery illness was. I've almost gotten to the bottom of this. I can feel it. Just a few more moves. Could you tell me the name of the disease your son suffered from? You're a real cold customer, Mr. Prosecutor. Isn't it enough that he was seriously ill? Why would you force me to tell you more? I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this, so I'll just leave it alone for now. Tell me a little about your son. He was my pride and joy. Was, and my biggest fan. And you entered the contest in order to help him. You clearly don't have children of your own. Any father would have done the same. I would have done anything to help him. Anything. Somehow I don't believe you. He would have come to see me at the contest venue too, right up through to the semi-final. Clearly, he didn't get in your way of work. If you were trying to beat Samson Tangaroa, surely you didn't have the time to look after a child. He had a germ in him. Yeah, well, I wanted to do what I could for him. He said he wanted to always be the first to try my creations. I'm still recovering, so you got to... Okay, I guess I was supposed to press there. You established that I needed to press whenever he went silent, and then you changed your mind. So you said your son was sick, Mr. Gusto. and yet he was able to come and join you for the contest?
It wasn't that kind of illness. Nothing life-threatening anyway.
This feels like it could be important clues. Time to deploy my clue. You've already shared with me that your son's illness wasn't life-threatening, so why are you so reluctant to share any further details?
Fine, it was the illness of stupidity. It may not have been life-threatening, but that doesn't mean it had been life-altering.
I see. That must have been very hard on both of you.
Of course it was. Wasn't why I did everything I could find a cure. We were desperate. He couldn't taste anything, not even his favorite desserts.
As I understand it, the Ultimate Cookbook contains the recipe for a very particular medication, one that Mr. Tanjiro used to cure himself of his own taste disorder.
So he had it too?
Two, you say? So your son had the taste disorder then, am I correct?
I don't let that slip.
You've been asking me to believe that you needed to win the cookbook in order to cure your son, not scare him. Was that really the case?
Of course it was. What are you saying?
I'm saying that you're not sure that true based on everything you've told me. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. Then, you're telling me I have to go through all of that again next time when I do it? So, you need the cookbook to cure your son?
Yeah. Nowadays you can't get the medication you need it anywhere. Back then, the book was your only hope. Which is why I didn't waste my time on fancy tea parties. I had to give my all to work.
And what about Mr. Tanjiro's work? Was that an option to call the kid fat? Really? I was too busy looking at the right answer to notice. Surely, that tea break gave you the perfect opportunity to go steal a glance at it.
What makes you think I have the energy for time to care about what others have made?
I was supposed to I kind of figured. I think you've made it abundantly clear how much interest you had in Mr. Tanjiro's work. What's more, if you were that determined to win the Ultimate Cookbook, I seriously doubt you would have passed on upon the chance to take a peek at your competitor's entries.
I had plenty of chances throughout the contest to see and sample my rival's work, you know. But each time I did, nothing seemed to have any flavor. Must have been nerves or something.
Nothing Mr. Gusto tasted had any flavor. That seems like it could be an important clue. He had it. He had the sickness. I have to say this. Gosh, I'm running out of time. I can't. You were sick yourself, weren't you? Taste disorders are difficult to live with. It isn't easy being green, or being able to enjoy your favorite food. You should know, after all, you just told me you'd experienced something like that during the contest. You said that nothing you sampled had any flavor. Those were your words, correct? Which would seem to suggest that you were suffering from a taste disorder. A confectioner without a sense of taste. Not exactly ideal. Are you sure it wasn't exactly your own condition that you were seeking a cure for, Mr. Gusto?
I had enough of your speculations. I had enough of your snide insinuations, Punch. I managed to find in that contest. Made all my own entries, no problems.
Sorry, but I'm afraid you're contradicting your own testimony. You already admitted that you and Mr. Frost had worked together during the contest. It's too late to claim you did it all on your own now. You would have us to believe that you were a man of principle, a dedicated student of the confectioner's art. Yet you abandoned those principles and conspired with Mr. Frost to rig the contest. And so it could cure your own taste disorder.
You got me, Mr. Prosecutor. As you said, my sense of taste was shot. My son's was fine. I'd kept it hidden for so long, 18 years and nobody knew. Sadly, you can lie to others, but you can't lie to me. Because I'm special. Both Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost entered the contest hoping to obtain the ultimate cookbook. For the medicine that would cure Mr. Gusto's disorder and the money it would bring in for Mr. Frost. Thus, an uneasy alliance was forged. And that, I believe, is checkmate. Woo! All my health regen! Might just checkmate. Hurrah! I admit it. No good. I never told anybody about this, but you figured it all out anyway. It's true. 18 years ago I discovered Alquasia. Alquasia? One of those.
What's what's that?
It's a taste disorder that makes it so you can't taste anything at all. A confectioner's worst nightmare.
Mr. Fender, is that what Mr. Tangrower had at Duel?
No. The big man had what they called a dissociated taste disorder. Basically, some things he could taste just fine, while others had no flavor at all. So he suffered too. Can't have been easy. Not when there wasn't a way to cure it on the market.
Which is why you needed Mr. Tangrower's cookbook. Do you admit now that it was the real reason you entered the contest?
It was only one of the reasons. I wasn't lying when I said I wanted the title. When I put my mind to something, it gets done, and I won't lose to anybody. I may not have been able to taste it then, but I still knew my stuff was good enough to win.
Oh, so you went into the final thinking you stood a chance of winning?
Huh, of course.
What was it that Mr. Fender said about what Mr. Tangrower thought of Mr. Gusto's creations? Mr. Gusto's creations were a perfect balance of flavor and design, at least up and through the semi-final. But disappointingly, his entries for the final were subpar on both accounts. We were told that your entry for the final was far from the prize-winning taste sensation you describe. What happened, Mr. Gusto? What went wrong that day?
Fine. You want me to talk, I'll talk, but you're not going to like what I have to say.
My entry for the final.
Frost and I were working together right up until the semi-final. I handled the flavor, he did the designing. But I wanted to face Tangrower in the final on my own. No help, just me and my skills. So I helped Mr. Frost with his entry, but mine I did alone. If it didn't taste good in the final, that's on me. What can I say? I like trading.
That's it?
And that's all there is to it. Happy now?
There don't seem to be any obvious contradiction in his testimony.
Yep, not that I thought it'd be easy to get anything real out of him.
You managed to not let it by. What really happened 18 years ago, after all. Why don't you try pushing him a bit, Milzerino? See if he's got something you can't shake loose. I think I might just have it, Mr. Fender.
Hold it!
Frost was in charge of designing the work you both submitted, while you handled the taste.
Yeah, he was a sculptor and craftsman. And his sense of design was second to none. But he was clueless about confectionery, which is where I came in. We each did what the other couldn't.
Heh. And boy, you don't have an eye for aesthetic. Not even for the simple stuff.
How do you like me now?
Huh, the national symbol of Zengfar. Oh yeah, it's a phoenix. That's awesome. I'll say, pretty different from the stuff you were pumping out 18 years ago.
Bold are the fruits of my training. I have dedicated my whole life to my craft. And back then we both needed each other's help. So we joined hands until the final.
Hold it!
You were serious about winning the title then?
Of course. The title of confectioner is my life. Why wouldn't I ever wanted to be crowned the greatest? But still, I had a lot to learn back then. Guess it was no surprise my work wasn't up to scratch.
But the title wasn't the only thing you wanted. There was the cookbook too. And you wanted the book more than you wanted the title. Isn't that right, Mr. Gusto?
Overruled.
Mr. Edgeworth, you are badgering a witness who is still suffering from the effects of the day's attack. I'm not badgering, I'm stating a fact. I just realized the thing on his hand is a tattoo of a horsefish. I thought it was a teapot. Or like a lamp. Like from Aladdin. I cannot allow you this harassment to continue.
I understand, Your Honor, but ignore him, Mr. Gusto. You need only answer that vile prosecutor's question. Or need not. But please do continue your testimony in your own time.
Hold it!
So you're saying... Oh, wrong voice. You're saying Mr. Frost didn't help you at all? But he'd helped you up until then, correct? It's a bit strange for him to stop so late in the contest, no? Strange or not is the truth. Could be he had his own reasons too, I wouldn't know. If he's lying, it's going to be a headache to prove. 18 years is a long time. Not unless that gizmo of yours is building a lie detector, Kay. If it did, I'd have stolen the show for Mr. Edgeworth long before now. Don't worry, Fender. I can tell when he's lying. No doohickey assistance required. Please, Mr. Gusto, continue your testimony. Again, another game avoiding third case syndrome. Yes, welcome, Frostgore.
Hold it!
And yet, I heard that your creations prior to the final were scored highly for their flavor. So what went wrong? Was there some kind of cooking accident that day? No, nothing like that. It was... I told you, I had a taste disorder. My sense of taste failed me. It is simple as that. But Mr. Frost's entry was complimented on its flavor. Your sense of taste hadn't failed you then. Did something happen overnight? I don't think he's going to spill any more beans, Mr. Edgeworth. Then perhaps I should ask him about something else.
I'll be on in 1 sec.
Did something change between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusto? Not really. I guess I answered the wrong question. Or maybe not. The only difference between the semi-final and the final was that Frost wasn't helping me.
Hold it!
So, you really completed your final entry without Mr. Frost's help? I may not have had his side to lean on, but I knew it was still solid when it came to flavor. So the visuals were the only thing that changed between the semi-final and the final. You sure, Gusty, old pal? Gonna have to call you out on that one, I'm afraid. Wasn't just the looks that got a big thumbs down come tournament time. Got trashed on flavor too. Doesn't sound much like a winner to me. Despite his confidence, Mr. Gusto failed on flavor too. The lack of Mr. Frost's assistance shouldn't have had effect at that. So there was there some difference? An 18-year-old mystery, and the key to unraveling it is finally in my grasp. I just need to remember everything Fender told me about what me and my father discovered. Okay. That Frost wasn't helping me. Blah blah blah. Victim's body was found inside one of his creations. Discovered that he had a taste disorder. Persistent in the confectionery contest. A blow to the head. I don't know if you've gotten anything yet to present this. Or to present anything, I mean. Let's go back and press on the other one.
Hold it!
You knew Mr. Frost from the contest, correct? You remembered, I see.
Hold it!
It was no coincidence that you both entered the contest, correct? Yeah. I had heard about it first when I told Frost. I knew he'd be interested. He was always short of cash for his sculptures. That's right. Mr. Frost was supposedly always in financial trouble, wasn't he? The cookbook is really worth that much, huh? See, I see that gleam in your eye, kiddo. Don't get your great thieving hopes up. It's worth a lot back then. But these days, you can find most of the stuff in there on any drugstore's shelf. Oh, bummer. So literally every last contestant only ever had eyes for that cookbook, I see. An 18-year-old mystery. I already looked at this. I guess that's what this is for.
It says, visited his father daily up through the semi-final. It says used to. But this was taken, so I guess...
Objection!
Yeah. I can think of one significant difference between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusto. Your son. This is him in the photograph, correct? You told me that he was with you up through the semi-final.
He was. What of it?
What indeed? He was here with you until the semi-final, until he suddenly wasn't for the final. And just as suddenly, your work went from being lauded for its flavour to being lambasted for it. Did his son make everything? Oh, man. I don't think that's a coincidence, do you? Like, his son was the only one that could taste everything, so he had him around just to taste stuff. He wasn't just spending quality time with his father, he was playing a much more pivotal role than that.
I just wanted him to see me hard at work, to show him I was trying my best for us. Who knows? Maybe it was him being here that helped me do so well in those early rounds.
He talks a good game, but nothing about this guy seems super dad to me. Indeed. Thankfully, we would only have to give such an idea credence if his story was true. After all, how much could the encouragement of one small boy affect the taste of a grown man's work? Mr. Gusto prided himself on his flavorous creations, but then he lost his sense of taste. He must have had a tough time maintaining his high standards after such a devastating loss, unless... I'm sure your son was here to cheer you on, but that wasn't all he was here to do, was it?
You're a very suspicious man, Mr. Prosecutor. Why don't you try answering yourself for a change? What was an elementary school kid doing here other than support his father?
What? Is that going to be 3 or 1? I'm going to go for 1. Your son knew the taste of your work pretty well, I imagine, Mr. Gusto.
Yeah, he was my biggest fan. Of course he knew it.
In which case, you would have been a good judge of whether something tasted on brand, so to speak, no?
What are you implying?
You've already told us that you're suffering from a taste disorder. Greggy's the only real good dad. Yeah.
I admit it. Oh God, I figured it out anyway. It's true, 18 years ago I helped develop Aguasia.
No one knew about your condition. Indeed, I doubt Mr. Frost would have wanted to continue collaborating with you had he found out. After all, it was your job to make sure his creations tasted good. Therefore, your son wasn't just here to support you. He was helping you by taste testing your work. Dang, that would all make sense. Frost's stuff tasted good because it was really finished the day before when the kid was still here.
You have a vivid imagination, Mr. Prosecutor. But you seriously think I'd trust a kid to tell me how to adjust my taste of a masterpiece?
Your son, yeah.
I have some pride, you know, even back then.
Did you now?
My designs may not have been much to write home about back then, but I always knew my work tasted better than anybody else's. You'd think I'd risk everything for putting my reputation in the hands of a child. This is just more speculation, that is all to it. All it is.
But in that case, I expect you to speak with your son in this instant. Let's see how much your story he can corroborate.
Sadly for you, my son is no longer my concern.
What?
As soon as I got my sense of taste back, I went straight to Zhengfa to stop my training and cut off all ties with the kid for good.
What the fuck? What? What? I don't even make you another line for that. I said it already. You abandoned your own child? And I ain't out of it. No one knows where he is, even now. The cops have looked all over him, but no dice.
So, don't think you could prove your acidine theory? I'd like to see you try. You think I care about anything besides confectionery? Think again. I got my sense of taste back. What need do I have for a son?
Wow! Wow! You're a terrible person. Silence in the courtroom. While Mr. Gusto's words and actions may demonstrate a certain lack of humanity on this part, I still fully believe he's fully innocent. The goddess of justice cannot judge him for that. Sure. So, abandoning your child isn't against the law? Okay. If you put her up for adoption, that'd be a different story, but it sounds like he just left. Look, took all the money, took everything, and just left that kid alone. Therefore, Mr. Edgeworth, I believe it is time for you to admit defeat.
Yeah, give it up. 18 years is a long time for anything to surface now, proof or otherwise.
Mr. Edgeworth, we have to do something. If we don't, the truth might be lost forever.
Where are you, Detective Gumshoe?
I can't imagine whose blood it could possibly be, but I'll get it tested right away, sir.
Please do, Detective!
That's the last piece of the puzzle, I'm sure of it. Once we know whose blood it is... Hey, Miles, sorry to cut in on your mind palace time, but I was pondering something myself. Our friend Gusto didn't come here just to check up on the body, did he? You mean because he tried to open the case? Exactamundo. Think we have anything we might try to explain why he tried to do that? We might, if the detective can make it back to him, back in time with a certain piece of evidence. There's quite enough idle chatter, Defense. Now if you...
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Speak of the devil. I take it you have the test results, Detective.
Yes, sir. Well, have just come back to me.
We've got Larice, like, drawing pictures of everyone as this is all going on. Detective, please, court is in session. Now then, am I right to assume that you are bringing us evidence Mr. Edgeworth was just speaking of? What? Hey, no fair. Why didn't anyone tell me about any of this? Because you were gone. It is indeed the evidence in question, Your Honor. It is needed testing, so I asked him to carry it out. What the? Why is everybody always helping you? I'm supposed to be the one in charge here. Mr. Winner, I'm sorry I didn't involve you, but this is important. Can we at least hear what the detective has to say, you chumped-up loser? Well, alright. So, Detective Gumshoe, what did the test have to tell us?
You're not going to believe this, but the odor of the blood was found in the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini's cases. Carmelo Gusto, the victim of the poison gas attack. What are you talking about?
Thank you, Detective. You've been very helpful. Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct. Phoenix and Eugene are just great for the miss part. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, what do you mean? Explain yourself. What is the significance of this blood to this case? It's wholly the very thing the perpetrator of the IS-7 incident has been trying to hide all these years.
Who?
The fact that your blood was found inside the Gemini case, Mr. Gusto, is as good as finding your blood lying next to Frost's body.
Overruled.
Why would there be traces of blood there of all places, Mr. Gusto? If you won't answer your honor, Mr. Gusto, then I will. There wasn't just blood in the liquid from the Gemini case. There were traces of salt and sugar, too. There were? And if you remember, one particular part of Mr. Frost's work was allegedly very salty indeed. Oh yeah. You're talking about what Delisha told us back then, right? What was it again?
Okay, I've never tried scrumptious in my life.
Sure, really? Man, I wish I could have had a bite.
Oh, well, scrumptious, except for the salty bits, of course, that was unbearable.
The salty bit?
Okay, it's in the photos. I didn't know there was a bit there, the heartbeat thing.
You were lying.
Yes, the liar, the only liar, tasted as if it had been flavored with salt. There were no traces of salt anywhere else in Mr. Frost's entry. Very interesting. Then perhaps you can tell us, Mr. Edgeworth, where did the salt and the liar come from?
Take that!
This is the lamp from the IS-7 incident. Indeed, and I believe that the salt that gave the liar its flavour came from just such a lamp. Mr. Von Kammer had established that both salt lamps were in Tangaroa's room at the time of the crime. One of them was used to kill Mr. Frost, and in it was stained with blood. But no corresponding pool of blood, was found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Blood of pool. Come on. Right, because the culprit had chucked that piece of chocolate with it into the little stream here. Furthermore, aside from the liar, no traces of salt were found anywhere else in Frost's room either.
Hey, come on. Come to think of it, the lamps found in Delicia's room were both broken.
The lamp appears to be broken.
Bulbs are smashed, both of them.
Maybe they fell in and broke on the floor.
I never did figure out how one of them wasn't used to kill Frost. Got busted, but... Are we thinking maybe he had Gusto's blood on it at some point?
Anyone whose blood was found on one of the lamps would have been a person of interest to the police. So the killer needed to hide the blood on somehow, and in a way that wouldn't arouse suspicion. Are you seriously suggesting that the liar was used to do just that? This game is the reason I bought a salt lamp for my room. Self-illumination and energy emergency self-defense. It's also something to lick if you need something salty. Or like you need something to like season a dish, you just like rub the lamp and it comes off. I never even thought about like salt lamps before. I have to look them up. I suspected the bloody salt was somehow applied to the liar so that it could be hidden inside the case. Because unlike the fountain water, the sculptures would have needed more time and care to test properly. And so he waited for his chance to dispose of the liar undetected. Then the reason he's here today is... 18 years ago, Mr. Frost's body and the evidence pointing to this killer were taken away together. This, of course, was not part of the perpetrator's plan, and thus a new dilemma arose. The possibility that the body, the incriminating evidence, or both would resurface one day.
So back he comes 18 years later, sneaking in bright and early to cover his tracks.
Well, Mr. Gusto, are you finally ready to admit it? That you are the one responsible for the IS-7 incident? Mr. Gusto, it's all because of you that Samson... Oh, doing that fake laugh made me dizzy. Oh.
Gusto. So I finally get caught, huh? All these years later? Nobody came close back then. Not even the big shot prosecutor or the attorney. That's some impressive work, Mr. Prosecutor. I've had it to you.
You admit it, then, that you murdered Artie Frost.
Sure I do. I did it. I killed him. But he only had himself to blame.
What do you mean by that?
He agreed to help me. We were supposed to help each other so that one of us could win. And whoever won was supposed to be to let the other use the cookbook. But on the day of the final, the rat finally showed his true colors. Seriously, Frost, we had a deal.
We've never spoken as Frost. I'm going to make it up here. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm helping you in the final. A little agreement is over, Gusto.
But I helped you. I spent all day yesterday making the ice for your pieces.
Did you? And can you prove that it, I suppose?
What do you... Wait. You planned to pay me the right from the start, weren't you? After Frost double-crossed me, I had to make my piece for the final by myself. And like you said, my son wasn't there. So I didn't have any help with the flavor either.
So much for the pride you claim to have in your ability to make delicious desserts. Come on, Edgeworth, he had no taste. Having a child taste stuff is not going to do anything.
Go ahead and judge. You have no idea what it was like for someone like me to lose my sense of taste. I give up everything to become the best. Everything. I take pride in that. Something someone like you could never understand.
You're right. I don't understand. You take pride in the fact you resorted to murder, or that you abandoned your son. Why would I want to understand someone who could do such things?
A man can't afford to rely on other people. I learned that the hard way 18 years ago. My son never showed up on the day of the final. And in hindsight, I wouldn't be surprised if Frost was the reason why.
Why would you think that? What would happen to your son?
How am I supposed to know? I told you, he's none of my concern anymore. And according to you guys, nobody knows where he is now either.
And you don't care? You're horrible. So, with his disappearance, so too went your chances of winning, correct?
Yeah. I had to find another way to get my hands on that cookbook. That's what inspiration struck. I decided to skip afternoon tea and snuck into Tangaro's room. It should have been so easy. All I had to do was photograph the formulas I needed to get out of there. But then Frost showed up. I thought I'd find you here. Stealing recipes from the famous cookbook, Frost. What's this? A cure for taste disorders. Oh no, that's just too tragic. A confectioner who can't taste anything, what will people say? If you tell anybody, I'll... You'll what? You can't even hit me, you miserable worm. Why, you... Frost shoved me hard when I went to punch him. Wrong voice. Roar. I went punch him, knocked me clean off my feet. I crashed into one of the lamps. Must have been what my blood got on it. So Mr. Frost wasn't the first to get hurt? When it was all over, I realized I had to get rid of that blood somehow, so I scraped it off all the blood bits. I dissolved the salt shavings into some flavored ice mixture and rusted all over the harp. And that's how you made the evidence linked to you in the murder vanish. Frost was going to blackmail me. It would have made me give him all the money to keep quiet about my condition. So you decided you had to kill him? Yeah, guess I did. Why would I let him live? Would you want someone holding something like that over your head? Besides, he's the one who traversed through blood. Makes for solid case of self-defense, don't you think? So that was the impetus behind it all. Anyway, I just took the lamp to Frost's room. Went straight there once I figured out how I was going to hide the bloody pot. Inspired by the ice sculpting tools laying about the place, I guess. You're not as dumb as you pretend to be. Yeah, I figured I could use the chip it off and grind it up. Once that was done, painting the stuff all over the harp was easy.
But why Samson? Why did you have to frame him?
I never meant for the cops to pin it on him. That was your fault, you and the rest of them. Why do you think I went to the trouble of placing that absent cloth back in Scone's room?
There's only one reason to plant the murder weapon in the room of another contestant, and that's to cast suspicion on that person. What? Oh, you tried to frame me, Gussie Pants?
Yeah.
But why? Why poor old me?
Because you suck as a cook and you were fake! I respected Tangaroa. He was the best, a true champion. I would never have wanted him to take the fall. But you're a fraud. Your work wasn't even real. You had no respect for our craft at all. You deserve to be punished for what you did.
Oh, Gusty. How could you? How could you? You cheat. Say what? Yeah, his murder thing's all bad, yeah. But the fact that she even got as far as the final by cheating. She didn't even make any of the stuff. It was all plastic. Literally, only the cream on the cover of it was real.
And you had to refrain from eating Tangaroa's work. Frost's body would have been found. Wouldn't have been found. My plan was to wait until Tangaroa was judging your room. That's when I'd sneak the corpse to Frost's room and freeze it. But thanks to you, Bound here found it before I had a chance to retrieve it.
I don't understand. Why did you need me to freeze his body at all?
Why indeed?
Mr. Edgeworth, surely you must know. Why did Mr. Gusto need to freeze Mr. Frost's body? To pass it off as an ice sculpture, to obscure the time of death, to hide the true crime scene. I mean, to hide the time of death wouldn't have really mattered. The true crime scene could work, but we know where it was. Maybe to pass it off as an ice sculpture then. Mr. Gusto needed to freeze it in order to pass it off as an ice sculpture. Is that really why? I'll agree, Mr. Edgeworth. You bet Miss Bounce is lost in her thoughts. She's frozen up. Sorry about that. I guess that wasn't it. Please, better tell us the truth this time. To obscure the time of death. Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If they determined that the murder occurred during the afternoon tea, it would have been an obvious suspect.
Bingo. Freezing Frost's body was simple. Wasn't simple. Preparing everything took time. So I decided to put his body in the chest in Tangaroa's room while I got everything ready for Frost's. At the time, it seemed like the perfect hiding place. Never counted on some gluttonous pharmacist showing up and making the whole ship collapse.
I still don't get it, though. Why disguise the body as an ice sculpture at all? The sooner it was found, the smaller the effect of freezing it would have had on masking the time of death. Therefore, he needed to disguise it, at least until it was fully frozen. How awful. You used Mr. Frost's own work to help you cover up the truth behind his murder.
Ironically, Tangaroa would have been fine if the body hadn't been found before I got it out of his room. If only things had gone to plan, he would have been arrested, let alone convicted.
You mean it was my fault? Yes. Everything that happened to Samson. It was all because I found the body.
Don't let him inside your head, Judes. None of this is your fault. If it wasn't Samson, it would have been Delicia instead. She would have been the one arrested. Either way, there's only one person to blame here, and that's Gusto. It didn't help the initial detective was so bad at his job either. He never even told the prosecutor the body had been vanished.
So then Mr. Von Kamm had unwittingly placed Mr. Tangaroa under arrest in the absence of a body.
I mean, it doesn't explain why he was so keen to wrap things up. Still, you'd think he'd notice something as big as that if he'd taken a look at a few reports, right?
Not if someone had been deliberately distorting the facts of the case, though. Either way, it seems that Mr. Von Kamm didn't know about the body until after the arrest had been made. But admitting that would have spoiled his perfect record. So he kept to himself and proceeded to prosecute Mr. Tangaroa regardless. Can this really be true? You don't feel bad at all? Somebody spent 18 years in prison because of you.
Sticks and stones, girlie, sticks and stones. I'll arrest you right now, pal.
I'm afraid I can't allow you to do that, Detective.
So you noticed her? Glad someone did. The judge is right. You can't lay a finger on me.
Why? You just confessed to murder.
No idea, huh? I guess I'll let me lay out for you.
Oh, we're doing it as of this?
I killed Frost 18 years ago. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years. You do the math, you can't arrest me. You think I've confessed otherwise?
That's right. The statute of limitations is only 15 years. Is this really the end of the line, Mr. Edgeworth? Once the statute expires, he can't be charged, so... Which is stupid. Real life, if someone is found years later to have killed someone, they still get charged. They just reopen the case. But... How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm afraid that both Mr. Gusto's confession and your deductions will have to be struck from the record. It doesn't matter. Even if he can't be convicted now, it can still be used as evidence for this to show that she didn't kill anyone. Are you just saying that, oh yeah, because he died, this was ages ago, it doesn't matter for him anymore, but it does matter for her? Gaffel. And that Mr. Tangaroa's conviction will remain in place. Love how you pointed out the statute of limitations as the solutions for extending it as soon as you got the booking last week. Yeah. But we've finally proven the police never had Mr. Frost's body in their possession. Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gusto, surely Mr. Tangaroa has grounds for a retrial on that basis. Does he? I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid that the goddess's judgment are somewhat harder to overturn than you might imagine. So the committee means for the verdict from 18 years ago to stand, no matter what.
Bad luck, Mr. Prosecutor.
There must be something we can do, something to bring Mr. Gusto down.
Hold it!
The passage of time doesn't diminish what you did, Mr. Gusto.
Sure diminishes one thing, though. Your ability to arrest me. Oh, we can arrest you. We can arrest you real good. I won't have you cuts before you even blink, pal. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
This issue isn't as open and shut as you're making it out to be, Detective.
You can't touch me. It's too late for that.
Retrial laws are BS. Great. Is this an actual thing? I hate it.
Hold it!
And depending on your actions over the last 18 years, the statute may not have expired yet.
That's all to be good. Alright, I got nothing to hide. If there's something you want to ask it.
Very well. Tell us where you've been and what you've been doing since the incident.
Sure. Not long after the contest, I was able to cure my taste disorder thanks to the formula from that book. And not so long after that, I went to Zengfar to really buckle down and hone my craft. That explains a lot. Tried to contact you after the fact, but I guess you were long gone by then, huh? Could be. I left, let's see, around a year after the murder. It was before Tangaroa's last day in court. Going to Zenfar was the best thing I ever did. Flavor design. I'm full of the package now.
Wolf.
Objection!
And all on the backs of those whose lives you destroyed. What an omelette without a few eggs.
Oh, God. He's becoming the president from Revengeance.
Can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. I played college league football. I made it the shit up. Nothing, Mr. Prosecutor, nothing. You're evil. Sticks and stones, girlie. You can't arrest me, and that's all that matters.
I need more time, more to work with. There has to be something I can get out of him. Maybe I can push him further on the statement he just made. Is there anything I should follow up on? His scarf is a piping bag. Is it? I'd like you to tell us more about your training in Zengfar, if you wouldn't mind.
Fine. I later became the Zengfar to train, and I became the best in the world.
Hold it!
Zengfar? And you were there for a while, I imagine.
Yeah, I left some time after the investigation had wrapped up. I'd been meaning to go there and start my studies for a while. And thanks to the hard work I put in. Dragon Ball Z. My designs are now world class.
Whoa, that's amazing!
You like it? It's yours.
Really? Alright. We spent some time in Zengfar training.
Hold it!
Depending on your actions over the last 18 years, the statute may not have expired yet.
This ought to be good. Alright, I got nothing to hide. If something you want to ask it.
You're a long over the goddess, blah blah blah.
Objection!
Would you mind tell us more about Mr. Tangro's final day in court?
Fine.
Is it here? The statute is suspended from the time of any of the accomplices' indictment to the end of the trial.
Objection!
Nope, not yet. Not yet. I probably have to press on more or something.
Hold it!
And you weren't summoned as a witness at any point by the prosecution for the defense.
I had more important things to do than worry about some court case. I was busy getting ready to go and become the best.
Making me such high and low for the guy. Seemed like he didn't want to be found. Sounds like he played his cards right and managed to avoid setting foot in court.
Hold it! Objection!
This. I didn't mean to do that. I chose the exact same one that was already up.
Hold it!
Never say never, Gusto. Nothing is impossible as long as you believe.
Really? Come on, give it up. Your father couldn't catch me. What makes you think you can?
He would have solved the case if he hadn't been for Mr. Gonkama obstructing him at every turn and then killing him. And now the statute of limitation is threatening to inter the truth of this case forever. I had to think about, was that a cut-off word? But no, I know what it means. Don't listen to him, Mr. Edgeworth. You can't give up. Not now. We're doing this for your dad. We have to see it through to the end. Okay. The truth is right there for the taking. What kind of great thieves are we if we don't grab it for ourselves? I'm not a great thief, Kay, but you're right. Come, El Augusto. I won't allow you to make off with the truth.
Do your worst.
Hold it!
That was the only reason, because you knew the statute was expired.
Why else would I do it? Why would anybody? Not that I planned on it ever coming out, of course.
And why was that?
Because I'm finally the world's greatest confectioner. And petty stuff like this only gets in the way of me and my craft.
Are you more concerned about you and your rep than the fact that Samson's still rotting in jail? I've seen some pieces of work in my time, but you're flat out unforgivable.
Who cares about forgiveness? I did what I did. I don't need you to understand any of it.
Alrighty, Miles. It's official. Uncle Eddie's mad. And that doesn't happen often. You're not the only one. But don't worry, he won't get away with this. Not if I can help it. Mr. Gusto is no ordinary opponent. He's gone 18 years without his crimes being exposed. I think Mr. Edgeworth, there's got to be some way to arrest him. The guy's probably watched a few legal dramas before, but he's no lawyer. Not like you and me. There's got to be some loophole somewhere we can use. Just gotta. He's right. Mr. Gusto is an armchair attorney, after all. Oh, wait. Need to press, not present. Get the other thing up. Oh boy.
Objection!
Do I present it now?
Objection!
Yeah! There we go. It was one of the two. The statute of limitations for murder is subject to the following condition. The statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country, which means that the time you spent abroad doesn't count toward the total time under the statute. No way! So it's like someone hit pause while he was in Zangfar? It appears that there may be time left on the clock yet, but that would depend on how long you've stayed in Zangfar, Mr. Gusto.
It was 3 years exactly.
3 years? Hold on. Who said anything until I've done the math? The murder happened 18 years back. The statute is 15 years. Add 3 over C's. 10 years plus 3 marks exactly 18, which means... No way! Mr. Edgeworth, you did it! The statute has expired at all.
Bingo, 18 years exactly. Glad you worked it out for yourselves.
He's just been stringing us along the whole time. Why is he laughing? We're good, aren't we? We can arrest him now. I hate to break it to you, little sis, but let me just spin it over the mic. It's IS-7 went down the end of December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, it's been 18 years and 4 months since Frost's murder. If Gusto stays in Zangfar really lasted 3 years on the nose, it's not enough. For a few months, sure. Not enough, but...
What did I tell you? You can't touch me. Yeah.
I hate to admit it, but he read the board well when he made his confession. How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. It was only the statute had been suspended for another year. Those who could afford overturn the goddess's judgment might be willing to pay the price should they fail. We know that it's probably because the actual case took a year to do, that it's fine. And you, Mr. Edgeworth, have failed.
No.
There must be something I can do. I knew it. Well, if the law can't bring Mr. Gusto to justice, then... Jews, what are you thinking? I've got a gun!
Objection!
There's no need to go add it to your rap sheet just yet. We're not done here, far from it, because there's still a way we can nail him. There is? Alright, Milzerino. Pep talk. I think you need to go back to everything we know about the case. Gusto's overlooked one critical thing that you yourself were led to believe wrongly about. Which is... He wasn't there for Simpson's last trial, remember? Best I can tell, he doesn't even know where the final verdict that came down that day is. Which means, there's still one other way left to us. Grab open your statutes of dummies there, and take another look. 17 years ago, they really did a number on Simpson and framed him like a picture. But if he made a good use of that verdict now, you can make Gusto pay from full for what he's done. Fender, are you? Those that overturn the goddess' judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. Samson may be my client, Miles, but I can't bring myself to use the source of this plane as a weapon in this fight. So whether we play our last card or not, it's got to be up to you.
Bringing Mr. Gusto to justice can only happen if I use the outcome of that hard-fought trial. So, should I raise an objection and play that card or not? Yes. My father and Mr. Von Kammer, one sought to reveal the truth, the other to hide it. I know which path I choose to follow, the one that seeks to reveal the truth. I am not Von Kammer. This court has reached its final verdict. The record will state that Mr. Gusto has been found not guilty on all accounts. No, Your Honor. Mr. Carmelo Gusto is absolutely guilty, and I refuse to let him walk away. His crimes are too unspeakable to go unpunished. Do you mean to suggest that you have grounds upon which to call for his arrest? I do. Now to show Judge Cavell something that proves the statute of limitations hasn't yet expired. Going to be here, or is it in another one? Convicted as accomplice.
Take that!
The thing I had from the beginning. Very well. Is there a particular page of the IS-7 case file that you would like to refer to? The suspect data. I'd like you to direct your attention to the page concerning the suspect. As you can see, Cesar Tangro was convicted as an accomplice, and it took around 1 year for his indictment for that verdict to be reached. Yes, that does seem to be the case. The book you gave us details certain conditions pertaining to the statute of limitations for murder. One of them, as I mentioned, is the statute is suspended if the suspect flees the country, and another states that the statute is suspended from the time of the trial of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial. What? Tangro was convicted as an accomplice? Yep. Guess you were in Zengfar when the verdict came down. Sens was convicted as accomplice, not as the main perpetrator. Which is clearly news to you, and not good news either, am I right? But how can that be? Tangro wasn't an accomplice to anyone. He was innocent, and you know it. Oh, we know it. Oh, wrong voice. Oh, we know it. It's what we've been trying to prove all along. And in pleasing twist of fate, his wrongful conviction will be the very thing that sets him free. If you spent 3 years in Zengfar, and your accomplice Samson Tangro was on trial for 1 year, it means you still can be charged by Mr. Frost's murder up to 19 years after the fact. In other words, the statute of limitations hasn't expired at all. The goddess's judgment is infallible. It is not. Shut up. But that of us servants, it appears, is not. It seems the prosecutor in charge of this case may have erred. Unbelievably, we may have no choice but to investigate a full inquiry. No. How could this? You weren't supposed to be able to. 18 years. It's a long time to let somebody else suffer for your crimes. It's time to pay the piper, Gusto, and not a moment too soon. But I'm finally the greatest. My brilliance has been recognized. I give up everything for this. Everything. Even my son. More's the pity. But you can't run from the law forever, because the bills come due at last. It's me! And then he cut it. Oh, it was hollow. Okay then. Everything else is all set for a trip downtown, sir. Oh, good. Which means it's your turn next, right? I suppose so. Judes. I'm so sorry, everybody. I've caused you all so much trouble. But thank you. Thank you so much for bringing Mr. Gusto to justice at last. I'm afraid there's no escaping the consequences of your actions, Miss Bound. Self-destruct, yeah. But those actions were born of the legal mistakes that were made all those years ago. We all know that. So allow me to apologize in return on behalf of the prosecution. Oh, no. I have no one to blame but myself for it all. Starting with those sculptures. Hey, Judes. You think maybe you might want me to represent you? I'm not so a nervous newbie anymore. And there's no way I'm letting you take the rap for everything. Oh, I'd be honored. Thank you, Mr. Fender. Wish it had a sprite, yeah. Sorry, man, you can come with me now. Oh, of course. All right, how are you going to ruin this? Judge Gavel, why did you lie to us? Lie? What are you talking about? You implied that there was no case for a retrial, but as was proven, that wasn't true. Yeah, bye, Kate. It was nice seeing you. Surely anyone truly committed to seeing justice done would have called on as soon as the body was found. I am under no obligation to answer such questions, and you clearly have no intention of doing so either. And now I'll punish you because you went against me anyway. Truly, you are proving to be quite a threat to the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. Prosecutorial. As such, you've given me little choice but to report back on your continued transgressions. Ah, yes, the transgressions of finding the real culprit. No doubt you'll be called to appear before the committee in due course. Now I must be on my way. What the heck? And after you caught the real killer and everything? Isn't that what prosecutors are supposed to do? Regardless of how it may all play out, I would never regret what we accomplished here today. Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! Yes? Why did you stick your nose in this case anyway? You weren't even on the job. My job is to bring the truth to light, Mr. Winner. Not only as a prosecutor, but as a person. I don't get it. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Not as long as you believe that closing a case makes you a winner. That's going way over my head. I'm going home. What was that all about? Eustace still has a lot to learn, is all. Mousy wowsy. Yes? I just wanted to say, Greggy Pegleg would have been proud of you today. Oh, look at me tearing up. That and thanks for helping poor old Sammy Poople. Of course. Hey, Edgy, looks like you cleared everything up, huh? So, what happened exactly? I was kind of busy sketching. Wait, where did Judy and Verity go? Wow, you really weren't paying attention, were you? Though I'm loath to admit it, Larry's sketches did come through for us on more than one occasion. Not that I'm about to tell him that. Quit with the glaring, will ya? Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Calm down, Larry. I wasn't glaring at you. I was glaring with you. Don't you were. You're just like your pop. He's a terrible liar, too. He was? Listen, I'm going to head out. I need to fill Stamps in what went down today. You want to come with? Yes, of course. Great, then I'm coming too. To be fair, he has years of playing dirty to go after. Yeah. So what's Mr. Tangaroa like? I can't wait to finally meet him. Oh, he's a real sweetheart. You'll love him. Even while locked up, you can help but make all sorts of cookies and cakes for everyone. It's why 3 p.m. cake extravaganza is a thing of prisoners and guards alike. Really? That sounds awesome. You think you'll have any left for us to try? Didn't we find a few slices of chocolate cake in the prison on the other day? Oh yeah, we did. They're bringing that back. Okay. Could they have been some of Mr. Tangaroa's baked goods? Tell me, what are you doing here? I heard you all coming to see Mr. Tangaroa, so I volunteered to escort him. Also, I'm the protege of Mr. Bad, and I was the one, he did that all the time too, so I'm doing it too now. Oh, wow! He aged. Hello, new friends. I am Samson Tangaroa. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. And I'm Edgeworth's trusty sidekick, Kay Faraday. It's nice to meet you both. Miles here's Gregory's son. Is that so? Your father was very kind to me and fought so hard for my case. But in the end, I betrayed him. I made a false confession and... Don't worry, Mr. Tangaroa. Mr. Fender has explained everything to me. Sure did. And now we're here to tell you the truth about what happened 18 years ago. The truth? Judy did all that for me. Crazy kid wrecked her brain for 18 years until she finally figured out how to set you free. What can I say? Turns out she really would do anything for you. Oh, Judy. I never expected... I never did anything to deserve such devotion. Come now, Mr. Tangaroa. I think we all know that's not true. The bond between the two of you has held strong for all these years, after all. Not with your family, though. They kicked her out as soon as you were gone. Hard to say, but your family sucks. You think so? I better show him. Which piece of evidence is proof the Bond misbound share? The chocolates! Those chocolates? Judy made them, didn't she? That's weird. I've got two voices that are pretty much similar. Yes, she did. They're super delicious and sweet. Miss Bound continued making them just as you taught her, even after that fateful day. So that there would always be some waiting for you when you finally came home. Judy. That's a stupid laugh I gave him. I bet they're beyond sweet, super sweet then, aren't they? Very much so, I'm afraid. I only wish we could hand them to you. Oh, don't worry, sir. I'll make sure he gets them later. Which would be clear breach of prison policy. Not that I have authority now to stop him anyway. Thank you very much. You know, Detective, something about you reminds me of Detective Bad. Really, pal? I look up to him a lot. He's my role model. You don't say. It seems fate like to bring people all sorts together, huh? Bound to a duty till the end, yeah. You hang in there, Samson, just a little longer. I should be able to get you out soon. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Nobody should have to wait 18 years to get justice. Don't be silly, Eddie. I'm the one who should be saying sorry. Or rather... Thank you, truly. Samson. Well, I guess it's my turn to wait for Judy to come home now. I better make sure there's something delicious on the table for her when she finally walks through that door. God damn it, why is this getting emotional? Ugh. Don't let me down, Eddie. Leave it to me, big guy. The IS-7 incident. It's been 18 long years, but this case we'd inherited from my father. It's finally coming to a close. Objection! Something happens! Hey, Miles. Thanks for today, and sorry for forcing you to make the final call like that. Not at all. I simply made the call that felt right to me. Huh? What are you guys talking about? You know, Samson was wrongly convicted. You had to pretend that he wasn't in order to nail Gusto. But to use that false conviction against him even to save him. As his lawyer, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Yeah, I can see that. But now that Gus is behind bars, you finally start to get that wrongful conviction overturned. Yes, and I'm sure you will. Wait a minute. Does this mean that even if you were only doing what's right, if the false conviction had been overturned before today, Mr. Gusto would have gotten away scot-free? Yep. It's what folks in the trade court like to call a legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect. Because of things like legal contradictions, right? Yeah, but you never know. Things might change. The law's always evolving, just like us humans. Yeah, and then we start getting a jury in, which lasts for like one game, and then it's gone. And they go back to the old system, because... Your Uncle Eddie and Milzerino included, am I right? The potential for growth and change in people and the law, huh? So, Miles, are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor or help people as an attorney? So it tells you you've got a big decision ahead of you, one only you can answer. I know. And the future's already been decided because I become head prosecutor of everything. So, you know, I'll become a defense attorney. Well, let's just say I won't complain if you show up at the office one day. And on that note, it's time for me to skedaddle. Oh, you big time. Always repay my debts, but for now... Thanks again for today. I mean it. Great ending. Yeah. Did he seem kind of in a hurry to get out of here to you? He did. And honestly speaking, I'm the one who owes him a debt of gratitude. After all, he gave me the chance to reckon with my father's final case. When I was a boy, all I ever dreamed of was becoming a attorney like my father. But then, during my time with Mr. Von Kammer, I learned the way of the prosecutor instead. Eventually, with the people, well, some good people, I found my own voice and a new way to live. Flashes to Phoenix. But now my career as a prosecutor is at risk of being taken away from me. It may be time to take another long look, hard look, at how I want to live my life, whether I like it or not. Yay! Oh, something's happening. April 2nd. Are we going to get held at gunpoint again by a shadowed man? Hey, Gregory. Sorry for reporting in so late. Are you going to get shot? Because your door's wide open. It may have taken 18 years. We're finally in a position to prove Stamson's innocence. All thanks to your boy Miles. Could have done it without him. You should have seen him. The way he fought for the truth gave me chills. It's like I was watching you. Look, I know I'm not half the attorney you were, but those guiding principles you tried to instill in me? It went Apollo Justice, then Duology, the crossover, then Dual Destinies. He's still alive! And of course the Layton crossover, which doesn't fit anywhere in the timeline. I'm pretty sure the Layton crossover is like non-canon because they're like two different universes. Although I've not really looked into Layton. Apparently it's like some sort of Victorian era, sort of steampunky magic style stuff or something. I don't know. Apparently it's good. I haven't really looked into it. I mean, both the series that it's from and, you know, the crossover one. I like to think that I'm embodying them now as I cry out in your legacy. Here's hoping. Oh, release order. Okay. Your boy will be joining me not too soon. Am I going to fight crime as a prosecutor or help people as an attorney? What is the right answer? Which path should I choose? To be continued. Oh no, the end. Never mind. To be continued is when it's the next part. Yay! Good job, everyone. Pretty sure the crossover was in another world. Yeah. The Turnabout Forsaken. Woo! Oh, it's a K picture. Is this going to be a K-centric episode? Right, how long have we got? Ooh, 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes to see the intro for this. So this is next time on Ghost Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Crossover is non-canon. Yeah. I hereby call this meeting to order. The committee is gathered here in sight of the goddess to pass fair and frank judgment. It's me. The purpose of this hearing is to assess the professional competency of Miles Edgeworth. Ooh. Going into a tall building. Are you... Why is this like a TV show? Why are you wearing that raincoat? Red hands. No! Ah! And the building explodes. And thus Kay died. The end. That's the end of that case. Was that how stupid you wanted that voice? I could have done more, but my throat started to get to that point. But yeah, that is it for today. We managed to finish another case. Oh yeah! The next time we pick this up will be next week Tuesday, where we will be finding out what happened to Kay and if she dies. Probably not, but we're getting there. We're going to find out what happens next week. I'll be back tomorrow with more Hades though, so be sure for that. But for today, thank you all for watching, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed. I enjoyed this. Again, I'm starting to get kind of quite annoyed with Verity a bit. Eustace is kind of sort of... He's still annoying, but he's not so annoying that I hate him. He's just an annoying character. Maybe he grows up later, but for right now, this is where I'm at. But I'm still enjoying my time. So yeah, I'll be back with this next week, Tuesday. If you have not already, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff so you know when I stream. And get notified of when I do stream with those bell notifications. I lost track of what I was saying now. So yeah, like, follow, subscribe, those notifications to get notified. If you like what I do and help support me directly, links to Patreon and tips. And if you do become a patron, you get your name entered to the patronist tier, where I give you a shout out of every stream, like I do with Hero Kuni and the Soulmaster37, where I thank you for the continued support. I greatly appreciate you all. And we eat sweets, candies, and galore, and we get emotional. For some reason at the end, stupid emotions. But yeah, so that's it for today. Y'all take care. Have a nice rest of the day. I'll see you all tomorrow with Hades, or I'll see you all next week Tuesday for more of this. So until then, have a nice rest of the day, everyone, and have lots of cake to make up for not having any in this case. Till next time, bye everyone. Bye Matt the Chef. Thanks for stopping by and watching. Thanks. Bye Mafratron 2. See you all next time.